6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has urged Islamic countries to forcefully raise voice against recent despicable incidents of desecration of Holy Quran in Sweden at all forums. Pakistan has raised issue of desecration of Holy Quran in Sweden with Swedish charge d'affaires in Islamabad. Shehbaz Sharif says it is high time for the nation and state institutions to join hands for progress of the country. President of the United Nations Climate Conference COP28 has called for united efforts to deal with challenge of climate change. Security forces have apprehended 3 terrorists and their facilitators during an intelligence-based operation in Khyber district. Pakistan has regretted the UN omissions of 2 blatant situations of foreign occupation perpetrated by Israel and India in its report on children and armed conflict. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has urged Islamic countries to forcefully raise their voice against the recent despicable incident of desecration of Holy Quran in Sweden at all forums, including the United Nations, so that nobody can dare commit such a crime in future. Addressing the joint sitting of the Parliament in Islamabad this evening, Shehbaz Sharif said he will contact the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to convey a meeting of the world body on this matter wherein heads or representatives of all Islamic countries be invited to express the sentiments of the Muslim Ummah. He said this session should also pass a condemnation resolution suggesting ways and means to curb the provocative acts of disrespecting the divine books and holy personalities. The Prime Minister noted the Islamophobic incidents are a conspiracy aimed at driving a wedge between Muslims and the Christians. He also expressed his thanks to Pope Francis for condemning the incident and distancing himself from this profane act. Pakistan has raised the issue of desecration of Holy Quran in Sweden with charge d'affaires in Islamabad, and talks are underway with Swedish authorities in this regard. This was stated by Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch while responding to questions at weekly news briefing in Islamabad today. She said Pakistan and Sweden enjoy good diplomatic relations, and the Swedish government has itself expressed a concern over the despicable act of desecration of Holy Quran. Yawm-e-Taqaddus-e-Quran will be observed across the country tomorrow to lodge protest against desecration of the Holy Quran in Sweden. This was announced at a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Islamabad. In this regard, peaceful protest demonstration will be held all over the country. People belonging to different walks of life will take part in the protest to express their resentment over the desecration of the Holy Quran in Sweden. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says it is high time for the nation and the state institutions to join hands for progress of the country. He was addressing local elders in Torgahar after laying foundation stone of Torgahar-Bunair Highway, Bunair-Karkak Link Tunnel and Torgahar-Bunair RCC Bridge. The Prime Minister said it is responsibility of the government, judiciary, armed forces and the people to act in unison for ensuring development of the country. He said Pakistan recently faced financial challenges and got a staff-level agreement with the International Monetary Fund to avert default. The Prime Minister expressed confidence that Pakistan would soon gain a significant place in the Committee of Nations. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has appreciated the efforts of the United Arab Emirates in combating climate change and developing renewable energy projects. He was talking to President-designate of COP28 and the UAE's Special Envoy for Climate Change and Minister for Industries and Technologies, Dr. Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber, who along with a high-level delegation called on the Prime Minister in Islamabad today. Shehbaz Sharif thanked the UAE government for its support to Pakistan during last year's devastating floods. The Prime Minister also extended Pakistan's full support to UAE for COP28. Welcoming Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, he underscored the importance of high-level exchanges and felicitated him on his appointment as President-designate COP28. This is Radio Pakistan. President-designate of the United Nations Climate Conference COP28, Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, has called for united efforts to deal with the challenge of climate change. Talking to Minister for Climate Change Shri Rahman in Islamabad today, he assured to introduce programs that are practical, pragmatic and result-driven, ranging from adaptation to financing to cope with the issue. Dr. Sultan also touched upon Pakistan-UAE robust relationship. He said his country is keen to identify cooperation and investment opportunities in conventional and renewable energy sectors such as wind and solar. Speaking on the occasion, Shri Rahman highlighted the steps being taken by Pakistan to exploit the potential of renewable energy in the country. She emphasized for doubling adaptation finance and fulfillment of $100 billion per annum finance to support climate action in developing countries. Security forces have apprehended 3 terrorists and their facilitators during an intelligence-based operation in Shakhas area of Khyber district. According to ISPR, a brave son of the nation, Major Mia Abdul Shah, having fought gallantly, embraced Shahadat during heavy exchange of fire with the terrorist. Later, sanitization of the area was carried out to eliminate any other terrorists in the area. The ISPR said security forces are determined to eliminate the menace of terrorism, and such sacrifices of our soldiers further strengthen our resolve. Pakistan has regretted the United Nations for not listing the 2 blatant situations of foreign occupation perpetrated by Israel and India in its report on children and armed conflict. Speaking in the United Nations Security Council, Pakistan's permanent representative to the world body, Munir Akram, highlighted the immense suffering of children under foreign occupation and called the omission most visible anomaly in the document. Specifically referring to suppression of children of Jammu and Kashmir by Indian forces, he said an entire generation of Kashmiri children has grown up in a climate of unspeakable fear and violence that has further aggravated since the 5th August 2019, when India unilaterally annexed occupied disputed territory. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian forces personnel are continuously carrying out house raids in Kishtwar, Ramban and Doda districts of Jammu region and victimizing the people associated with the ongoing Kashmir freedom movement. Local residents told the media that the Indian Army, police and paramilitary personnel barge into their houses every now and then and harass the inmates and vandalize the household goods. They said these house raids have made their life a hell. They added that the pro-freedom people are specifically targeted in these actions. Meanwhile, Indian police arrested at least 14 persons for not standing up to India's national anthem during an official event in Srinagar last month. On the other hand, complete shutdown will be observed in occupied Jammu and Kashmir on Saturday to mark the 7th martyrdom anniversary of popular youth leader Burhan Muzaffar Wani. Call for the shutdown has been given by the All-Party Hurriyat Conference to pay glowing tributes to Burhan Wani and other martyrs of Kashmir freedom movement and supported by all pro-freedom leaders and organizations. Burhan Wani was martyred along with his 2 associates by Indian troops in a fake encounter in Kokarnag area of Islamabad on July 8 in 2016. Posters displayed by pro-freedom organizations in different areas of the Kashmir Valley urged the people to make the strike call a success. And finally, the weather report. Rain, wind, thunder shower is expected in Islamabad, Pothohar region, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, northeast Balochistan, eastern upper Sindh, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan during the next 12 hours. Isolated heavy fall is also expected in Islamabad, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, northeast Balochistan and Kashmir during the period. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.